Hello guys, this is Connor Burrell with Team Sanctum, here with Alex Robarge, ready to give us a new deck profile for the new format. How about you tell us what it is, Alex?
Alright, so this is a control deck, as I tend to play, and it's H.A.T, but it's revamped. We got Thunder King at 2 again, so it's really good. I feel like we're going to go into a trap-heavy format, so I think this deck can do fairly well. Stunning your opponent just for the 1 turn, 2 turns, whatever it is. I think it'll be viable, and there's a couple cards in here to get rid of, like Chaos Max Dragon, and stop like doll trains and all that stuff that everyone's getting all hyped up about. At least in the beginning half of this format, I think the deck can do fairly well. So here's the deck.
All right, let's take a look.
So it takes 3 fire hands. A lot of people only play 2, but I think having the 3, being able to go 6 monsters deep if you only draw 1 is really good. A lot of people don't draw just the 1, but I think the added benefit is good.
All right.
So, and then the 3 ice hand to couple with the 3 fire hand. These are pendulum decks nightmares, just because it pops the monster and the scale. So
yeah,
so it's very good. So that's the H, and the artifacts. The typical number: the 2 scythe, the 1 morale tuck because he's limited,
yeah,
and then the 1 bagel tick.
Yeah.
I thought about bumping bagel tick up to 2 and scythe up to 3, but the problem is I keep drawing the scythe, and the reason why I want to bump bagel tick up to 2 is because I keep drawing the bagel tick. But these four are pretty good. These 4 just themselves do decent.
All right.
Also, Stormforth is at 1, which this deck would have a stupid hard time with. So since it's at 1, I that's another viable reason. Then for the trap tricks, play the 3 Murmelio. Murmelio being able to search out like a time space is really good against, Draco Pals. Being also against Blue Eyes, because the Chaos Max shuffling it back into the deck sets them back a lot. Or the other version of Blue Eyes. Just the different trap holes are really good. And I run 7 trap holes in this deck. And then 1 Dionea. Dionea pretty much for the normal summon to special Murmelio to pop and then exceeds with is what she's for. And she's 1700, so she's decent. And then the 2 Thunder King Ryo, if you open like trap holes and artifacts and then a Thunder King, and you normal Thunder King set 4 and pass if you're going first, or normal Thunder King beat over something small if they have it, and then set 5 and pass is just really ridiculous. And Thunder King making it so your opponent cannot search, and that you can negate a special summon of your choice is really good.
Taking that new ban list to the
yeah, so yeah, taking advantage of the new ban list, that's really good. And he's a 4, so he helps with the Exceeds summoning. 2 Fossil Dyna, everything is special summoned. So you set this and you wait, and this goes. And I'm not sure how the chain resolves, but I had this theory that if you set this and you have artifacts on the field and someone rams into it, that they'd be special summoned after the chain resolves, because this would be off the field. That's something you guys can leave in the comments. If you know the answer to that, go ahead and post it in there, give us some feedback, more deck ideas. Alright, so, and that's it for the monsters. There's a lot of them. I think it's 20 monsters, maybe 21, I'm not sure. Then spells, very limited. You play the 2 Artifact Ignition. This is really good because you pop and set, and if you like pop a Bagel Tech and set Morale Tech or a Scythe, the Bagel Tech resolves at the end of the chain, and pops whatever one you set. So this and a Bagel Tech equals really good things. Then you play the 2 MST. I tried taking these out. You really need them, because if you open artifacts and nothing to get rid of them, you need to pop them, and then this turns into good combos with other things. and you can just pop stuff you don't want to see. The 2 dualities, 3 gets really bad. I feel like I see it enough at 2. You don't need to draw too much in this deck. Everything pretty much does a good job of stalling enough that you outlast your opponent. The 1 pot of dichotomy, top decking it late game, mid game is really good. You can't conduct your battle phase, but that's not too big of a problem for you if you have ice hands, fire hands, artifacts, whatever. This deck is really defensive and controlly, so you don't really need to attack too much. And with that being said, so a lot of people play Upstart, but I am opting to play the 1 Day of Peace because this deck has a hard time smacking really hard for big damage unless you go into Lightning. So this card, you draw, don't take damage. Your opponent does go +1, but I'd rather give them that card than those life points because 9 times out of 10 I can stop them with the Trap Hole. Regeki, getting rid of stuff you don't want to see. If you really don't like this, you can take it out. Dark Hole's a good option if you can't afford a Regeki, if you don't have one already. Yeah, it's Regeki. Triple Sanctum, it's an artifact.
Title
deck.
drop.
Yeah, and if you didn't know, that's our team name, Team Sanctum. I have a mat that looks like this, I drew on.
How organic.
But yeah, and that was kind of the idea. That's how we got our team name. Most of us played an artifact engine in our first decks, so yeah. 3 Sanctum because you play the artifacts. Triple Floodgate. This card is insanely good. Yeah, the monster stays on the board, but it's kind of locked in that position unless they contribute the monster off. And if it has a small enough defense, there's cards in the extra deck you can go to spin it back or other things like that. And you can use these initially with Rafflesia, so you don't go through your other more essential trap holes first. So this is a really good power card because you can just keep reusing it. Or not reusing it, but you can use all these before you get your other trap holes. So that's 3 down from the 7. Break from the trap holes real quick because I'm going in order by 3 of to 2 of the 1 ofs. 2 Call the Haunted. I would not suggest playing 3 because you want to see your monsters more than you want to revive them. So yeah, 2 Call the Haunted because that basically reusing the artifacts for their effects, or you can call a Thunder King or a Fossil Dyna to prevent special summoning or searching. 2 Time Space. This just wrecks all Pendulum decks. Don't be afraid to hit like a Pen Summon of 5. Honestly, like if you have the kind of board to deal with it, don't be afraid. This card's really good. And it stops Chaos Max Dragon. That was the other thing. It shuffles it back into the deck. The 1 Trap Tricks, Trap Hole Nightmare. This is an alti, so it's really pretty. But you can use it from the deck with yes, and shout out to Jay. He bought this when he didn't really want to. This is very blurry. But our buddy Jay bought this for like $10, and because it was the only one left, and he was going to play H.A.T, and now he's not playing it. So
that's right, ladies.
So
Jay bought an ulti.
Yeah. This is good for Cosmo if you face it. It's good for BA because that ban list didn't hit Dante. And anything that's special, something activates an effect, which is a lot of things. Then you play the 1 Bottomless Trap Hole because it's at 1. If it was at 3, you play it at 3. But Bottomless. Pen Summon. Save this for Pendulum Summons. Unless it's not a Pendulum deck, but yeah. Really good. Banish the stuff if you don't want it to get effects in the grave. And then the 1 Warning. I might take this out. I don't know what I would take it out and put. I don't know what I put in place of it. Maybe another Dianea, but you really don't want too high of a monster count. But yep, that's it for the main deck. So that's 40 cards. Then for the extra deck, we're gonna start with the rank 5s. You got a Durendal because you play artifacts. It's really good. Helps clear out other artifacts, and if your opponent searches too many times in one turn, like against Ritual Beast, which eventually will be a thing, and again with the new support, we don't know what it is, but I'm sure someone will use it. And then the new with Sarcophagus at 3, people might pick it up again.
Sure, it'll be helpful when someone uses Ritual Beast.
Yeah, or just something that searches a lot, like
Someone.
like Draco. Yeah, I have the deck too. Or with Draco Pal, when they search a lot, then you activate this at the end of that, and they shuffle all that back and draw. One Pleiades, it's just really good. It's during the other player's turn, so that's pretty much when you use it. Those are only 2 5s. Well, this one's a 5, but you go into it some other way. And then you play the Lightning, Utopia Prime, and the Utopia. This deck is pretty defensive, so you want to use this to be able to get 2 effects off of this, make him 5 so they can't really swing over him. And he's an Armades, which is really good. I don't think you'll see a mirror match, but if you do, he's good in a mirror match. So there's those guys. Then you play 2 Rafflesia because you're playing Trap Tricks in the deck, and all other 4s and 7 Trap Holes, so there's no reason not to. Protects Myrmelio, protects Dionea, protects itself, and disrupts your opponent. Card is ridiculous. It's definitely the focus boss monster of the deck. The Abyss Dweller for stupid graveyard effects, Shadal Trains, BA, all that stuff. Castel gets rid of problematic things, shuffles it back, Book of Moons it. You get the idea here. Giant Hand, this is mainly because it's funny that I don't know. I just think it's funny because I'll show you why at the end of this. But Fiendish Chain, essentially, I've had it literally like wreck a Draco Pal player if you hit the right play. So if you make it at the right time after you know what resources have been used. Just be wise with this deck. This deck is the closest thing to GOATs I've seen ever, so modern day at least. Daigusta Emerald, mid game, late game, whatever, it's good. Shuffle stuff back, draw 1. Not as good as Dichotomy, but still good. Diamond Dyer, I like the whole 1-for-1 type thing where tribute pop, whatever. So I like this. The Ouroboros,
Super Chrono Mech Beast Ouroboros.
Ouroboros or Ouroboros or
however you choose to pronounce it.
Yeah, the green one. There you go.
Yeah, green Zord.
Book of Moon has a 22 attack and a 24 defense, so it's a really solid generic card. So I really like it. Caution, it is a machine, so people are still using like system down. I don't know why they would side it against you, but in case someone is stupid and has it mained. There.
I mean, we have seen people who think the artifacts are machines.
Yeah, that too. Gaga Cowboy, if you need it. You can switch this out if you want. You don't OTK too often. I did do it almost earlier.
I mean, that cowboy for game, though.
But I have the deck's numbers work in a way to where you have about 800 left, or under 800 against someone. You just need to do the last little burn. Do that. That's good. And then the last one, Honor Arc, taking stupid cards. Know that this does target, and that the target has to be in face-up attack position. A lot of people keep forgetting that when they're putting this in their decks, but it's mainly for like big stuff that people leave on the board that gets special summoned. So that will be it. I don't know what I can suggest for you for a side deck, but Team APS has come out with a video stating like what they see the top 10 side deck cards for the format are. I personally would suggest like Debunk. If you don't main Maxis, which I don't in this deck, I would side them. I'd say Flying Seas because of BA and other stuff. Light Mirrors, Dark Mirrors, if you can run them. Anti-Spell Fragrance. Some of the stuff from last format would still be good. So that's the deck profile. Hope you enjoyed it.
All right. Thank you, Alex. This is Connor Burrell and Alex Robards from Team Sanctum signing off. Happy dueling.